You'll not often find a gamer who looks forward to the complete wipe of a server. However, the Corepunk community are eagerly awaiting this one. Artificial Core have just announced that they're going to delay this wipe for another week, and this is the second time they've postponed this. So what is the reason that this has been delayed? Artificial Core say the delay is due to the fact that they haven't finished several major improvements. They say that for the past 2 months they've been working intensively on the combat system and have practically completely redesigned it from a technical standpoint. They don't want to go into details, but they're saying that the amount of work was enormous. They say that they've rebuilt almost every ability in the game for all heroes and all the mobs. They're saying that they've changed the very concept of the event calculations and adjusted all client server timings. Having played this game for as long as I've played it, I can definitely say the combat needed a lot of work, so I'm quite excited to see what they've done to change this. Artificial Core are really going to have to put their money where their mouth is now, because what they're saying is, and I quote, "Now we are ready to compete with the best in the industry in terms of tactile feel and responsiveness of our combat system. We are confident that with a fresh start, you will notice significant changes which will greatly enhance your enjoyment of the game and lead to even deeper immersion in the gameplay." That's a very bold statement, so let's hope that they can live up to this. Another big area that they've been working on is the quest system. Apparently they've gathered lots of feedback, and the narrative team is undertaking a massive overhaul of most quests in the game. So they're looking at objectives, directions, rewards, storyline, narration. They're saying everything related to quests will be significantly improved. What they go on to say is that now players will be able to use questing in game as one of the ways to explore the game world, to level up and enhance their equipment. It'll allow them to familiarize themselves with the game mechanics and have a great time. Following the wipe, there will be a new level 20 area that's being introduced. This is called the Steppes. So this is a new biome with unique monsters and bosses, as well as missing resources needed for crafting tier 3 items. This next part that they talk about is a little ominous. So they're saying, last week we closed all remaining possibilities for item duplication, and then in brackets, or did we? That doesn't sound too promising, quite frankly. We didn't rush to fix the problem this time. Even though the fix was ready on the test server much earlier, we held back its release because we saw that by using dupes, players were exploring the content. The progression system, crafting and items in Corepunk have deep vertical and horizontal progression, while vertical progression is straightforward and forms the basis of most well-known games. To see, study and appreciate the nuances of Corepunk's horizontal progression, you need to play the game for some time, discover hidden mechanics, and explore ways to use them. In this case, the dupes effectively helped demonstrate how deep and extensive the game's content is, the potential for replayability. Without dupes, it would have taken 2 to 3 months for players to discover the possibilities of combining all the progression systems. I love the way that they spin this. They are masters of spin. I'm not sure who Artificial Core are trying to convince with this, but it certainly seems that if duping was needed to progress in the game in a way that was fun for the player, then perhaps they should look at how the game is designed and how progression happens. Because if players are duping, then they're not having fun. A player shouldn't need to dupe to be able to explore the content at a pace which is satisfying for them. Again, I'm not sure whether they were trying to fool the players or convince themselves of this. They then go on to talk about the next system that needs testing, and that's going to be the PvP/PvE extraction game mode system. So I'm not clear as to whether that is going to be something that they're introducing into this part of the test or whether that's something that they're saving for early access. But they talk about creating an economy of lower level trash items which will be bought and sold frequently. It sounds a lot like the way that Albion works, where you go into a black zone, you die, you lose everything, and then you go and buy a fresh set of gear, rinse and repeat. But the problem here is that there's no talk of any kind of auction house. They say you can sell your items to NPCs and earn gold. You can sell good rolls to other players. Currently, we can't even trade gold, and there's no sign of an auction house. So what is the expectation for trading? Currently, the trading system is really frustrating. To summarize what you need to do in order to trade currently, you have to stand and type in the trade chat and hope that somebody is selling or buying what you have. You then need to agree on a currency. So not only do you need to have what they need, they have to have what you want. And then in order to trade, you need to be on the same instance. And so you have to group with this person. Then you need to go find them at the same location. And it's all so convoluted. Having one centralized currency, gold, would be really helpful, or an auction house. But currently there's no mention of any of this. But we'll just have to see how that looks when they release it. They go on to finish up by explaining that they're actively working on preparing new heroes and the specializations for testing, and they want to present the game for us in its best possible shape that they possibly could. So yeah, I'm not overly blown away by this news. Some things have kind of excited me a little bit, made me curious. They've made me look at things in a different way, from a new perspective perhaps. I'm not as mad at this PvP extraction as I was previously, but there's still a lot of question marks in relation to how gearing would work. So what are your thoughts on the latest from Corepunk and the current state of the game? Let me know in the comments.